Okay, so what's up, YouTube? It's Nendo here. So, in case you're watching this on YouTube and not here, obviously, it's because this is pulled directly from my stream. I didn't pre record anything. A video by crowbcat, who you may know as the guy who made the soulful and soulless RE4 OG and RE4 uh, remake comparison video, which made quite a bit of rounds actually back in the days. But now he came up with another gem. So I didn't really watch this video. I only kind of skimmed through Bakba Soup's reaction to it. I didn't really pay that much attention to it. But it intrigued me really because this guy seems to have an insane hate boner for RE4 Remake specifically, even though, there are other RE games that should be criticized. But to me, this video seems to be even a little bit more, not just about RE4, but even more about modern games in general, which is, it's always an interesting discussion. Nowadays, a lot of people feel like devs don't really care about the games as much. It's more like they do it's the easiest and makes them the most profit. We've seen, you can easily see this through modern game optimization. I mean, there's basically no optimization in modern games. You just like, even if you have like a decent system, there is a pretty good chance that you'll have to use some sort of upscaling and like lower your graphics, even though like you have a pretty capable machine, right? So my PC, for example, is pretty capable, I would say. But again, like for example, I had to use, in order to use ray tracing, I had to use upscaling in RE Requiem. Uh, Ray tracing in RE Requiem is important because the game looks significantly better with it than without it. But like I digress here a little bit. So I just want to go through this video and give my personal thoughts because, as you know, I'm a huge RE fan. So yeah, let's get started, I guess. So we'll watch a little bit of it, and I'm gonna give my input. Then we're gonna pause, and I'm gonna give my input and so on.
Itself is going to hit a major crash eventually. People are going to lose interest in games if they keep churning out the same things over and over again. And we at Capcom, we want to keep making games. That's what we live for. So in order to make sure there is an industry to support us making games, we have to act now. And one of the things we're doing is making original games.
Okay, pause right at the start. So I think the parallel that crowbcat is trying to make here is that we don't really get new original games anymore. We just keep getting rehashes and remakes and so on, which I can kind of agree with. There's been a lot of remakes recently. We got Silent Hill 2 remake, Silent Hill 1 remake coming out soon. Resident Evil remake since what, like 2019, and it's been going on for 7 years now, and it's not going to stop. We're probably gonna get RE1 remade, RE5 remade, RE6 I doubt will get remade, CVX remake, probably Zero remake, possibly even Revelations remakes. So there is merit to this, but then again, today I'm playing a new game by Capcom, who are the developers behind Resident Evil, and we got Requiem like a month, like not like a bit over a month ago, right? So there's that as well. It's not that there's a lack of new games. It's just that I think that the developers are a bit more lazy nowadays than they were, let's say, 20 years ago, because it was more of a passion to create games rather than profit. Sadly, it is what it is, games nowadays cost millions of dollars. Back then, they were cheaper, but you had more passionate devs who created art. But, you need to realize that games are such a big thing now that, the devs can only do so much to stray away from the path of the suits, right? So if the suits are said, your game's gotta be, it's gotta be ready on like May 25th, right? You have to release it at May 25th, which is why recently, especially in the past, I would say like 7 or 8 years, we got unfinished games all of the time, and then you get like a patch in a couple of months, and the game is fixed finally. Cyberpunk, it took it like what 3 years to completely fix the game. You know, it's the pressure to release the game as well. So that's something to think about.
Resident Evil 3, the remake, is just about out there in the wild, and it appears to be another great remake from Capcom.
Okay, okay, I'm pausing again. Okay, IGN is a fucking joke. Okay, I'm not like, I don't, I trust them. I trust them about as much as I trust. I don't know. Like, there's an expression in my language that somebody is lying like a dog, which means like, you know, dogs bark for no reason sometimes. So IGN is just whatever. Like the rating should not be considered whatsoever.
Capcom's really just hitting these remakes out of the park.
Okay, and I also want to add this. RE3 Remake is a bad remake. It's a really, really good example of how not to remake a game. But is it a decent game? It is. Is it fun? It is. You know, there's some merit to it as well.
It's got everyone wondering what will be the next Resident Evil remake.
Oh shit.
Yes, please. Thank you, Capcom.
Thank you, Capcom.
Thank you, Capcom.
Yes.
You hear the Spanish music, you see the forest, that, you know, we're all shitting our pants.
Last of Us? Last of Us?
The multiplayer for Last of Us 2?
Oh, come on, guys.
Obviously gonna be excited, obviously gonna play it when it comes out.
We are eating well as Resident Evil fans.
Yeah. He is right, 100%. We've been eating well for like nearing a decade here. You know, over what? It's been like 7 years. No, more. I'm lying. It's almost a decade since Resident Evil 7. Like next year is gonna be 10 years since that game came out.
We'll see. We'll see.
Except in the back of the players' minds, in the back of the developers' minds, there's this quiet, unspoken truth, which is, yeah, but if we're being real here, this is just a cash-in. This is not a legitimate artistic effort.
Oh my god, here we go again. Okay. I'm gonna get back to this point.
Of these games that they've been remaking, this is probably one that doesn't need to really be remade.
Okay, does it need to be remade? Probably not. I think when it comes to the original 4 games, I think I'm not counting the RE1 HD remaster, remake, whatever you want to call it. Out of the OG 4, I think RE4 OG has probably aged the best, most likely, but then again, you need to understand, people hate tank controls. Modern gamers hate tank controls. And you have to realize that Capcom is not a small indie company that has like a niche and they're making games for their fans in that regard. They wanted to expand, which is, you know, something I can understand. And would I like possibly like a mode where you get fixed camera angles and maybe tank controls? Yeah, it would be fun to try out. But you need to understand, if we didn't get RE2 Remake, RE3 Remake, and RE4 Remake, RE9 Requiem would not have been as good as it is. And I'm forgetting Village and RE7 here. Hello, just stopping by. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's really nice. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. So we're talking about this guy who has a hate boner for some reason for RE4 Remake specifically. So we're just watching a video about it, and I'm giving my commentary. We're gonna play Pragmata a bit later.
Heard about remaking RE4. My first impression was that since the original is a masterpiece, a remake would be difficult, so I didn't want to do it.
Yes, okay. RE4 OG is a masterpiece. Okay, like we have to agree with that. It is a masterpiece, especially it revolutionized how shooters are played. Just look at you didn't really have that type of like over-the-shoulder perspective in shooter games before RE4. It revolutionized gaming in a sense. And a lot of people hold it dearly to their heart. For a lot of people, I would say majority of older quote unquote Resident Evil fans, RE4 was their first encounter with the franchise. For me personally, it was RE3 Nemesis, which I really hold that game in high regard, which is probably why I was more disappointed than somebody else over how Remake went. But it is what it is. We take what we can get. Fortunately, Capcom has recently released the original 3 games on Steam, so we have that as well.
4, it's like a sharp dagger. You see how the original, where it just has like a roughy, gritty edge to it, you can just see the difference when it comes to the creativity and originality.
The remake is
oh god
soulless compared to this.
Here we go with the soulless stuff. What do you want, Fluttersofton? You're ruining my discussion here.
It really is. It's forgettable, and it feels like they found a formula, and they're just like, okay, now we could just remake anything we want. They're about
Oh my god, dude, here we go again.
to use that same formula to remake Code Veronica, RE5. They're just gonna do that shit until they've gotten as much.
Okay, so this guy, crowbcat, he made a video of, I think it was like almost 3 years ago, where he compared RE4 original to RE4 remake, and he got like clowned on pretty hard online because it was kind of meme soul versus soulless type of thing. So he got memed into oblivion online. Resident Evil fans are not exactly I mean, like, even I as a Resident Evil fan, they're not the best critical thinkers, But that being said, he made another video where he says RE4 is timeless, RE4 Remake is a product of its time. I don't know why this guy has such a huge hate boner for this game, but I'm just giving my input here as an RE fan.
As they can out of that engine.
Well, we could.
Yeah, mods, can you ban Fluttersofton like forever?
We can make Resident Evil 4.
Okay, dude, like, look at this shit. Like, he's making it sound like, it's like corporate bullshit, just like remake games, as if like they're bad games. Like, none of these remakes are bad game. Even RE3, which was lackluster, was not a bad game. They're good games. Like, what is the problem here? I really don't understand.
Or remake. What's the problem?
Yeah, what's the problem?
Once upon a time, instead of making
Don't cry.
people made
Resident Evil 4.
Oh my.
Once upon a time.
But like, okay, fine. I'll give that to him. The OG voice for Resident Evil 4 was much better than what we have, now.
They made things for the first time. They made really impressive things. Once upon a time.
I've worked on a number of Resident Evil titles in the past, and honestly, I think the series had been recycling the same patterns, the same gameplay each time.
Yes, exactly. But that's like, okay. So I'm having an imaginary fight with the producer of RE game. Yes, RE definitely had a formula. RE4 broke that formula, but the more they strayed away from what made RE games good and fun and interesting, the worse the games got. Like, I'm sorry, but like, this might be a hot take, but I really dislike RE5. RE5 as an RE game is not good. I'm sorry, it's a bad RE game. But that being said, as a co-op experience, it's pretty fun. I played it with my friend. Super fun co-op. RE6, kind of in the same vein, once you look past the technical issues that the game has, it's fun to play as a co-op, but is it a good RE game? No, the fuck it isn't. RE6 is a decent, an okayish action shooter. That's what it is. It's not a good RE game.
The creators were starting to get bored with it, and many moved to other projects.
Also, look what happened. So, honestly, in my opinion, Resident Evil franchise had luck, a lot of luck, surviving as far as it did. If RE7 was not good and innovative and new, in a sense, like it still hit the beats of a lot of older RE games, but more modern. If it was an airball of an RE game, I think the franchise would have died on the spot. Like, I'm not even joking when I say this. Look at Silent Hill. Which Silent Hill was the last one since like the newest one since oh my god, since Downpour? Like, we didn't really get any new mainline entries until Silent Hill F, and Short Message if you're counting it, but like, you know what I mean.
So I spoke to Mikami-san, the director, and we
Also, nobody's prohibiting you from playing the old games if that's what you enjoyed. More power to you.
talked about reshaping the series and winning back the fans, as well as winning over new fans who thought they would never play a Resident Evil game. So, in order to revitalize the series, we've given it a complete makeover.
Also, if this keeps going, we're gonna finish watching this in like 3 hours. If you know, you know. My first playthrough of RE4 OG was on the cursed PC mod. If you know, you know. It was a struggle. It's one of the worst experiences in terms of like playing the game. Technically, I still love the game and I love it even today. For all the good and the bad, but
For its time, it was the total game changer. They still make games copying what that game reinvented.
When the original came out, one of the biggest factors was how fresh the mechanics were.
True.
We knew from the start that in today's landscape, it wouldn't be possible to duplicate that. We never set that as a goal. Instead, our goal was to implement evolutions that have occurred since the original was released.
This rework has been simply titled Resident Evil 4, as if to say that this is the definitive edition of the game.
Oh lord, okay, but like you can see Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 4 2005. Okay, Capcom, if you're watching this, put Resident Evil 4 2023 so this guy doesn't get angry.
But there's the problem. The definitive edition is, by that definition, the one that defines a work as an influence, the one that people will think of when they think of its name.
Left 4 Dead, yo. Booyah!
No, man. Resident Evil 4 takes it by a long shot.
Would anyone bother to remake this remake?
Is the action still there? Is the atmosphere and kind of like the more goofy elements of Resident Evil 4 still in there? And it's all in there.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah. They just take the IP, the aesthetics, the branding of Resident Evil 4, and then they grafted on this lame.
Okay, but like, how can you look at this? Like, look at these screenshots, okay?
The brand.
Look at this.
Of Resident Evil
look at
4,
this.
and then
then look at this. So you mean to tell me that this looks bad? Okay, it borrowed some things from The Last of Us. But can we not pretend that Last of Us games are especially bad or something? Like, and this inventory system here, like, it's been in previous RE games as well. I don't understand what the problem here is. Why? Do you want to open the suitcase, like the attaché case every time you want to switch weapons? Like,
grafted on this lame Last of Us style ripoff with parries and stealth sections, and there we go.
Okay, but like, you don't. If you want to, you can like not use them at all. Nobody's forcing you to either stealth. Stealth is a pretty optional mechanic in RE4. Parry, a little less optional. It can save your life, but it's not like you have to do it. Like, you're not forced to melee or anything like that. So yeah, like, whatever.
We did it. We remade the game.
I just want to make it clear, I don't hate tank controls. If you're an RE fan and you hate tank controls, then you hate RE1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, you know.
It's a flicker. Yo, it really is The Last of Us. That's wild.
It has all these different individual elements pulled from all these different sources. Then they're
Okay, so it's a circle jerk of influences, okay.
just kind of thrown into a blender. This is millennial game design, and that is your game.
Yeah, but this is cool, you know, and also, like, I know what he's gonna say. Like, he's going to say something along the lines of, oh, Dr. Salvador was much more threatening in RE4. No, the fuck he wasn't. Like, he would easily stagger, all enemies would easily stagger with just a headshot, and you can cheese the hell out of him. He's much more dangerous in this game. Like, sure, you're gonna parry this, but then your knife's broken and you can't really repair your knife, so you're out of parries. So if this thing happens to you where you have to parry the chainsaw, it's because you played it poorly, right?
What is this? I mean, the chainsaw guy was...
Like, you can finish the entire game without stealth killing anyone or without parrying anything at all. You can, like, even on professional difficulty, new game, no bonus items, you can finish this game without parrying anything.
The marquee villain of RE4. He's on the cover. You can't just trivialize the guy who's supposed to
How is he trivialized? Like, I fucking knew he was gonna go there.
strike terror in your heart by Sekiro dinging his ass off you with a knife.
Putting that lifeline in place where it's like, oh, we know we can block the chainsaw. We know we can block it, so we're not scared of it.
Oh dear lord, like I said, he's like, if you played both games, you know that Dr. Salvador here, the chainsaw guy, is much more threatening in this game than he was in the OG.
Anymore. It takes away the tension. Whereas in this, you know you're going down when that chainsaw guy gets close. There's a sense of tension there.
I mean, look at this. He's like staggered for 50 years. You can make like 1 billion kilometers of distance. Like, whatever.
Come on, Capcom. Like, really? You ain't even gotta route your enemies no more. You don't need to do all that.
Yes, you fucking do. Yes, you do.
All you gotta do is pop up LB to stop every single monster in the game.
Increase the durability of the knife, and then do it again.
So many knives. I mean, they give you so many knives. It makes you wonder why even have durability if you're gonna have so many knives.
Oh, I have 2 more knives, you scrub. Didn't know I had so many knives.
In addition to that, the chainsaw guy in the original game, it's quick, it's sudden. There's no fucking like, let me rev this chainsaw up, 10-second fucking little death scene animation. No, your head's chopped off, you're fucking dead.
Okay, fair enough. I think the death scenes in the original RE4 are much more brutal than in the remake. With that being said, I don't know, they have a bit more weight here, but I do think it's more effective for them to be like, just like this quick thing of like, oh, this happens, you're dead, and move on, you know?
Boom, out of nowhere.
Yeah,
that
true.
was the beauty of that. So
I will give him this. Yes, I think the cutscenes in the remake are a bit more lame. With that being said, I think that in the remake, when Garador kills you, it's one of the most brutal things ever. But I think it has a lot to do with censorship. Probably they wanted to avoid a game being censored, possibly.
Damn, they don't get it.
They've managed to suck all the character out of the UI of this game. The menus in the original RE4 had way more character, dirty, rusty, reflecting the game's environment.
Again, fair point. It's the RE4 remake. The menus and the transitions are way too clean, in my opinion.
Now the
as
UI
well. So I agree with this. This is fine.
Minimalist look, which doesn't suit the game, and even judged on those terms, it really lacks a sense of style.
You no longer get to see some cool animations.
The files lack the photographic detail that makes them feel personalized.
I agree with this.
The whole screen would transition into an engagement.
Yeah, these were really cool. These were really cool and are sorely missed in the remake. I will give him that.
Piece of art for us to absorb ourselves into.
you'd go into a certain room, and before you even knew what was in that room, you'd have that safe room music.
Oh, there's no safe room music.
Okay, so I will say this. Whenever I play RE4 Remake, I do keep the original music on. I think it's much better than the remake one.
Used to have this unhinged, jittery text matching the crazy, macabre events unfolding, and cool blocks of writing on top of a bright, washed-out picture that made it look like some weird old case file being displayed on a projector.
They didn't get it.
Okay, but I want to make this point. The chapter end, the transition music between the chapters in the remake is amazing. I'm sorry, the soundtrack there in that part is just perfect. Unfortunately, we like the art or whatever, but, you know, we take what we can. And I just want to say this one more time. I do think there are things you can criticize RE4 Remake for, but when it comes to the remakes, outside of maybe RE1, this is about as faithful of a remake you're gonna get. 2 doesn't come close, 3 definitely doesn't come close. So, you know, there is that.
There's no character. No one's remembering that in 15 years. Forgettable, clinical, lack of any individuality. It's like a soulless corporate entity made this shit.
Oh my
Coming
God.
in this section didn't give me the feeling that someone took the time to design any of this. No aesthetics to it whatsoever. It is just...
Okay, I think this comes down to personal preference. I think I might be alone in this. It's not that I dislike the aesthetic of the OG RE4, but it seemed a little bit too kitsch at times, and just a little bit too much. There is such a thing as over designing. I'm not the one that likes minimalism too much, but you can over design a game for sure.
Realism, at least it's, you know.
But like he is cherry picking some of the most generic location. Like, oh my God, why don't you show like the hallway where you're supposed to get like the 3 heads? Why don't you show that location in the castle is fucking beautiful? Why skip on that?
Just realism.
And you're showing this random.
And this is when I also knew.
And what's the problem with the dungeons? Dungeons look amazing.
Yeah, this is like RE8. You know, like that's the first.
Okay, and the problem is where? Is RE8 a bad-looking game? I don't think so.
Thing I thought of.
When you turn on a game, you see a bunch of stuff. Some of it you'll recognize. And then there are the things that make you go,
Megascans is one of the largest libraries of high-quality 3D assets. They're used in everything, from video games to movies, and there's over 14,000 assets.
It just feels way more
Okay, you know what? Devs, you need to make the game from scratch, like completely from scratch. Or just like create every single asset in the game and then release it. Because fuck your personal life, fuck everything, you know? Like, again, like, this is not 100%, like, they didn't, like, use Unity fucking assets or whatever it is to create the entire game. They used it for parts. Like, I don't understand what the problem is.
It feels like every other Resident Evil game, where 4 felt so distinctive.
Okay, fair. You know, this is fair, but it was back then. Do you really not think that they wouldn't do this stuff then if it was more possible and if they could? Do you really think that they would not use asset if it was like super widespread? And like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. Yeah, so like photographing structures and pasting them into the game is somehow completely different than like using already created assets. Like, come on, fuck off. And don't get me wrong, I think this is cool. This is really cool, and I like to see it. It's nice, but nowadays I don't think it's as necessary as it was back in the day.
Across the top of the Great Hall there.
Hey, Mr. Beast here. Today we're gonna buy every item in this store.
I'm not even gonna comment on that.
Soon be getting the full modern Capcom facelift.
What are we doing? What?
Guys, two games in a franchise have a similar look, and you know, two games that were made to be similar to each other have a similar look. Who would have thought? Village. My biggest issue with Village is that it tried to be RE4 really hard. I like Village. I like it a lot. It's up there with some of my favorite RE games. But it tried to be RE4 a little bit too hard, which is the front that it failed on for me.
What are we doing? All these games are asset flips, dude. It's like literally.
Okay, so create a new asset for every single thing in the game, because, like, fuck your time, fuck your sleep schedule, devs don't need to rest, they are fucking robots, and they can do, like, yeah, whatever.
The same thing.
The village in the original game had this really stark, empty, desolate, ghost town feel to it that really...
Okay, but, like, oh my god. Okay, so, part of it, yes, it creates cool atmosphere, which is why it's so iconic, but I promise you, if there weren't so many technical limitations to the hardware at the time, it would look more closer to what we have in the remake. It would not look like this. And I'm sorry, I hate the era. This is one of the things that I hated in the 2000s and up until, like, what, maybe mid-2010s, where we had this piss filter all over our games, like yellow fucking piss filter everywhere. In every single fucking game that you played. In that period, you had this, like, yellowish piss filter, which is what we have here. I'm sorry, this is one of the parts that I really didn't like in the OG game. Like, sure, the aesthetics are there, it's super cool, but, like, not everything has to be, like, sepia yellow.
Was unnerving and eerie. Instead, what they went with the remake is that it's overgrown and cluttered.
It looks pretty linear. Like, when I mean linear, I mean super linear. Despite the old one being linear,
it looks linear, but the original RE game was way more linear than the remake, so the point here is what exactly? It just looks linear, quote unquote. Okay?
It still felt pretty open, you know, and it still felt like you could go anywhere.
Yes, guys, I love seeing the textures here, and then, like, a couple of meters away, I have a giant PNG, and, you know, I'm gonna pretend it looks more open, whatever.
Despite you couldn't, it still looked and felt like you could go anywhere.
So, I really want to say this, like, if you've never been to a village anywhere in Europe, like, in this case it's Spain, but, like, I promise you, everywhere you look along the Mediterranean line, the villages do look pretty similar to what we have in the remake.
It felt too boxed in and way too cluttered.
And that's kind of the go-to.
But again, this is just opinion based. You know, he prefers the aesthetic of the OG. So, you know, I prefer certain aspects of the OG in terms of aesthetic, but, like, you can never convince me that this is somehow bad. I'm sorry.
Plan for the remake is whenever we want to make something scary, let's just make it cluttered, dark, and bloody. That'll do the trick.
And they're shoving it down your throat. They're shoving it down your throat. Every freaking piece of this game is blood everywhere. Let's plaster blood everywhere in terms of the aesthetics.
Guys, why is there violence in my violent horror game?
And in terms of just overdoing it. In the original...
But they're overdoing it, but, like, if there wasn't any of this, they would be like, oh, but there's nothing here, it looks so empty. Like, you can't win with these people, I swear to God.
You go into the village and you don't really know what the fuck's going on. There's one scene where, you know, the lady's hung up by the pitchfork, but that's basically it until you get to the chainsaw guy.
Yeah, there's just this one scene of a lady hung up by the pitchfork. Oh, okay.
And part of the mystery of this game is finding out what these new enemies are. I can't
Yeah, but like even in the remake, you still don't know what they are. Like they're clearly not zombies, so you know.
say that they are not
Critical thinking skills versus a Resident Evil fan.
zombies.
It looks like the people here carry out their lives like ordinary.
Okay, this I will give. The flavor text in the original are sorely missing in the remake. Unfortunately, these types of flavor text, but again, they were a product of their time. Even in Silent Hill, like there's this meme about the fucking bread where Heather interacts with the bread and says, "Oh, it's just bread," you know. So it's kind of funny, it's kind of cheesy, but I do like these type of flavor text. It does a lot of for world building, in my opinion.
People. They even read books. Yeah.
The people in this house eat like normal humans.
Huh, they use toilets. Guess they're at least somewhat civilized. I mean, they are human, as far as we're aware, right?
In the process, you'll find out who these people are and why they're doing what they're doing.
There's a build-up to it, and there's a build-up to it in a way that makes sense. This is coming right out of the gate with stupid shit.
Yeah, I didn't really understand, and I still don't understand the point of the intro scene, to be completely honest with you.
No fucking way.
Yeah, but like even now, you still don't know what exactly is happening.
In the original, the reason why the chainsaw guy was scary because he looked more human. In this, it's just like fucking.
No, he was not scary because he looked human. He was scary because he could one-shot you, and it created tension, and he does the same thing now. And I would argue that him looking like he didn't sleep for like 7 days does make him look kind of scarier. He looks like a psychopath. You know, it just pick your choice. But I will say, I think the only Resident Evil game that got me spooked is like, I guess, the baby section in 8, the Beneviento section, and I got spooked and tensed up a lot of times in RE Requiem, especially as Grace. So you know, there's that. Like, if you get scared at horror games, then you know maybe there's something here for you. But
like dinosaur eyes.
I'm whatever
it looks
about
stupid.
this.
It's fake.
It feels so Halloweeny. Sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, I want to say that Sadler in the remake is much less interesting than in the OG. He's kind of a nothing burger in the remake, unfortunately.
There's something far more unnerving about the villagers' lack of acknowledgement in the original RE4.
This is the beginning of the game?
They're just shoving it right in your face. Oh, this is spooky, you know. Let's remind the gamer that this is spooky.
When trying out this new camera, there was a lot of trial and error, seeing how close to or how far from the character would work the best.
You cannot move and fire at the same time, nor can you strafe from side to side as you can in a typical shooter. This dynamic has an exceptional way of heightening tension, since your foes love to try to surround you.
Whereas now with the remake and its generic third-person aiming, you're never wondering what's behind you.
No. You are, okay? Okay, you are wondering what's behind you, because as cheap as it is, RE4 Remake, especially you can notice it in this village section. If you stand in one spot for way too long, there will be enemies that will teleport and spawn behind you. This is a fact. So, you know, you do have to watch your back.
You know what's behind you. You can just start aiming at all directions.
You can reload mid-reposition while angling the camera to keep an eye on the enemy.
I'm constantly like rotating the camera and checking where I'm like, what's behind me.
You don't have that whole risk-reward system of having to manage what's...
Yeah, because enemies running to you and then slowing down suddenly, and you know, you can just headshot them and stun lock them until they're dead is much more interesting, guys.
Creeping up behind you.
Before you were trapped in this cramped...
And they even tell you, like, even in the OG, they fucking tell you, detrás de ti, imbécile, behind you. So, like, you know, even if you don't know Spanish, you're gonna get used to that shit.
space with an unpredictable monster who would dip around all over the place chaotically. The camera system never quite allowing you to keep track of him at all times. Now the edges are sanded off and it's less intense, less memorable.
Plus, with a narrower view, there's more tension, and by being up close, it's easier to feel like you're right there in the game.
It is not the way it is because it's an old game and the designers didn't know any better.
I agree with this fact, but you have to understand that times change, people's preferences change. Like, if you remade RE4 beat for beat with the same gameplay and everything, it would not have nobody would buy that game. I honestly, like, I fucking doubt that even this guy would buy that game. Because what's the fucking point? Why are you buying the same game with, like, updated graphics? Does that make sense?
It isn't outdated just because it isn't like every newer game.
No, like, two games can exist and have value at the same time. Why is this such a difficult concept to understand? And I will say this, as when it comes to level design, like, there are some parts of RE4 OG that I hate going through, and I dread going through them every time I play it.
But nowadays there's this assumption that adding features to make a game more in line with modern audiences' expectations automatically makes it better.
Now when
No, it doesn't, but it doesn't inherently make it worse. That's my point here. It's not making it worse. Like, why are we even talking about this?
He has this weird sort of delay or inertia.
Yeah, like, why does Leon not move like a fucking robot action hero? Like, why can't he just flip around and turn immediately? Why does Leon move realistically, guys? Like, okay, do me a favor. Like, go outside, run in a straight line for a couple of seconds, and then try to take a sharp turn left. And see what happens.
He doesn't have precision in his movement. There's this heaviness, awkwardness to it, where you're never quite fully in control of Leon's movement. And then on top of that, there's a lot of gun sway, and there's a lot of imprecision with your aiming in terms of actually lining up and firing.
Yeah, the bloom in RE4 Remake is fucking brutal. That much is true. Bloom in RE4 is probably the biggest offender out of the modern RE games. But that's because they replaced the laser sight on every fucking weapon you use with the fucking crosshair, right? So it wouldn't make sense for Red 9 to have a fucking laser. Again, that's like what from the like
as AI companions come. She stays right behind Leon, and the camera even zooms out. So
yeah, counterpoint. She's fucking annoying, and she has a hell bar of her own. So if she gets hit, you have to like I don't even have to explain that.
Follow me.
Having the option to tell Ashley to stay somewhere is, you know, it makes for an easier way to deal with everything, and you know, it makes more sense from a realism perspective. But this is a matter of preference, though. I prefer the Ashley in every aspect in the remake over the OG.
Alright, Ashley, wait here. No, Ashley, stay up here. With me. Oh my god, please don't. No problem. They're making me take her through the fucking maze.
You can no longer freeze her in place. Instead, you can only change the distance she follows you from.
Personally, don't see this as a problem.
Bro, how can you not run past? You're actually too slow.
You okay?
Yeah.
Because you have so much less control over her, and there always tends to be a gap of some kind between you, she naturally gets in.
Okay, here's a hot take. If these types of things are happening to you, it's because you're not controlling her properly. I'm sorry to say this, but
into more trouble.
Ashley, don't.
Don't get me wrong, she can be a bitch sometimes and mess you up, but in general, I don't really have a problem with Ashley in this game. I've never had a problem with her in the remake.
Walk in front of the shotgun.
And too bad none of these. Hey, Ashley, get your ass over here. Oh god.
She artificially stuck to you like a magnet and could wait or hide away whenever you tell her to on a moment's notice, which is why whenever she gets hurt or gets captured in the original game, it's...
But I think this has more to do with AI in the remake and in the OG, both of Ashley and the enemies.
Your fault for not positioning.
To me, it seems that in the remake some enemies seem to have priority to take Ashley away rather than attack Leon.
Her correctly.
Ashley, get back in the fucking locker. Ashley! Oh, fuck.
Yeah, but like, I've never had this happen to me, though.
Ashley! Amazing AI, dude! Woo! But I'm not even... I didn't even shoot her! Hello?
Laser is pointing there, so I'm shooting there. I mean, she was obviously in front of him, so. But like, fair point. You either like or dislike Ashley. I can't really argue with this, but I personally didn't have nearly any negative experience with Ashley in the remake.
Wait. What the fuck was that about?
Are they behind me?
You're always wondering, wait, is something behind me? Is something behind me? Is something behind me?
Check them behind me.
It's the way the camera system creates that effect. And what's also beautiful about it is the art direction of the castle complements that. It is brightly lit. It is beautiful. It is ornate. And yet, something's off. Something is wrong. But that wrongness is subtle.
Yeah, for example, this room is really nice in the OG. It has to be said. This room looks amazing. But come on, show the good-looking room. Like, you can't tell me that you prefer the look of the water room, for example, in the OG compared to the, like, whatever, dude.
So what did they do with the remake? They turned it into a generic horror show.
Blatant, like, fucking, like, oh yeah, this is spooky.
Fog does not equal scary. I don't know what's up with modern remakes always have to add fog in.
Yeah, fuck Silent Hill, guys. Fuck Silent Hill.
Their fog is like overdone.
Instead, they just add shadows and
oh, come on, like, look at this place.
Smoke and red light and blood and writing on the wall.
And even like that scene, like that he shot here. Wait, let me go back.
They just add.
I mean, like, look at this. Look how beautiful it looks.
shadows and smoke and red light.
But again, this is preference, and this, yes, sure, it's gory, it's over the top, but it looks great in my opinion.
And blood and writing on the walls and oh, isn't that so scary?
Is Resident Evil 4 Remake scarier than the original?
Of course. A little bit.
I think it's the opposite. In the original, Leon...
Okay, here we go with the scare factor thing again. Like, I didn't, even as a kid playing RE4 OG, I didn't really find it scary. I didn't. Like, I think, again, the only parts of Resident Evil games that were genuinely scary for me are the baby section in RE8 and certain sections with Grace in RE9. But then again, maybe it's because I've consumed so much horror media over the years. I think I maybe just got used to seeing stuff like that, so it doesn't faze me anymore. So, you know,
would make jokes only in cutscenes and comms calls. So all of the cheesiness.
Okay, I'm gonna let him say what he wants.
Confined to intermittent cutscenes and comms calls.
Does Leon still say, and I quote, "I knew you'd be fine if you landed on your butt"?
In the remake, the cutscenes and comms calls are a lot more serious in tone. However, the remaining 95% of the game is punctuated by continuous quips and jokes from Leon while we were in the middle of combat.
But Leon barely speaks. Like, okay. So maybe they did go over the top with the quips and everything, but Leon as a character, you cannot tell me that he's not more serious in the remake than he is in the original. In the original, he is like this, he reminds me a bit of Dante from Devil May Cry in the OG. Which is funny, because during the test phases for RE4 is where the Devil May Cry franchise comes from, right? But in this remake, he's even though he drops these one-liners, he's a little bit mean about it. It's like, you know, it's a bit edgy in a way. And honestly, I kind of prefer this. Should they have toned it down just a little bit? Yeah, probably, but Leon doesn't really say anything in the OG when you're playing. Like, even when he's going with Ashley, he's not interacting with her at all. He's just like quiet, and you know, that's awkward, and you know, it kind of breaks the immersion a bit more, in my opinion.
I am flattered, but I'm a one-lady type of guy. Sorry, you're not my type. Watch where you're swinging those things. Guess your tap dancing days are over. God damn, you're a big boy. You got worms too.
You got worms too is fucking amazing. Brilliant.
What? You got worms too?
No food for you. Ah, the entertainment. I guess this is their idea of a warm welcome. Not bad, right? Hi there. You okay?
What can I say? Dogs like me.
Yeah.
Think you can swallow me whole, huh? You guys are really starting to become a giant pain in my ass. Wow, Ramon, you are really slacking on your pest control. That's your true power? Oh, I'd ask for a refund. Present for you. Jesus. Cuddly bastard. Twisty son of a bitch.
My point.
Yeah, guys, I really do hate when my protagonists and heroes have personalities.
Is that these stupid voice lines undermine the atmosphere completely, and
okay, so this here, goddamn, I was almost a pancake, should have been goddamn, I was almost a sandwich. That's what it should have been.
Due to their frequency.
Jokes aside, yes. Do I agree that they should have maybe toned it down just a little bit? Yes, but I don't think this is a bad thing. Like, if Leon did less jokes than people... Like, people are complaining that he's not joking enough. I've heard those complaints. That he's not, you know, quippy enough in the remake. But then this guy says he's too quippy, so, you know. It depends on the person, I guess. But this is a non-argument, in my opinion.
Getting immersed in the horror, practically impossible.
You're Ramon's lapdog.
Okay, but like you can't really. Can you really expect him not to have any sort of reaction to fucking Verdugo, dude? Like Verdugo is unironically the most dangerous enemy you have to fight. I think in both the OG and in this game.
Frozen's a good look for you. Sorry, must have slipped. This.
I don't know how he gets so many of them in a row. That never happened to me.
Looks like it's gonna take more than that. So we're playing hide and seek, is that it?
Oh, there's a window. We can't go through the window? What the hell? But it's got tape on it.
I haven't seen any yellow marked barrels yet. Oh, is that yellow jizz or is that just hay?
For our game designers, affordance is a great way to communicate
to okay, here we
what
go.
they can interact with or where they can go. It's not
okay, story time. So I know where this is gonna go through. That it probably he's gonna say it ruins the aesthetic. They should have went with different color. Yada yada yada. And yes, it does look strange. I have to admit. In Silent Hill 2, they used like white cloth for this type of thing. But there is something called QA. Like you can see QA here. It's quality assurance that the dev team has to like go through, where they bring in playtesters to test their game for quality of life stuff. Okay. One of the things that you will hear from almost all of the developers, especially if the game is like, especially if it's like an open world game, is that without, proper pathing, like not open world. I'm using the wrong word here. Like semi-open world, right? The game's linear, but there's exploration, right? Whenever you have something like this and you don't point people in the right direction, they're gonna get frustrated, okay? And like, I'm not making this up. You can literally Google this. The thing is, in older RE games, and I think the biggest offender to that is Code Veronica and RE0, where if you don't know exactly where you're supposed to go, it can get a little bit frustrating. But the worlds of those games are much smaller than what we have in games today. So I think even back then, it wasn't really necessary to have that. But like, people are stupid, okay? People are dumb. So, but then again, I implore you, you can play Shadow of the Tomb Raider without white. They use white paint there, if my memory serves me right. You can turn it off. Don't play the game like, let it be your first playthrough. Turn the white paint off and try to like move around and like figure out what to do. It's not impossible, of course. You need to get creative, right? But it's hell of a lot harder. What I think that devs should do with these types of situations is they should, as like Tomb Raider, you can choose to turn it off or turn it on. So, people can choose between the two. If you want to challenge yourself, then, turn off these guide points. I think that's the best solution there is for this. And it's an easy fix. It's like an on and off button, right?
a single color that's important. It's using consistent color and shapes in the context of the environment.
I get it. Cheer up, crew cut. You taking notes?
Instead, why don't we literally...
Yeah, like, see, this does look rather ugly, right? I wish they could have an option to turn this off.
Paint lines in the level that the players can follow, even though it looks absolutely absurd.
I don't know what, like, research and data they found from players, but
I told you.
But clearly someone suggested to Capcom like they need more guidance. They get upset when they get lost and frustrated, and then they have a tendency to not continue.
They fucking do! This is real! Like, you can literally Google this. Like, I'm not joking, this is a real thing. This is why this exists. Like, I'm telling you, if there was no need for it, it wouldn't be there. In like, this is not Resident Evil specific. This is like, in almost any modern game, you have some kind of help that's like this, where I'm like, you can't really expect, like, most gamers, like, right, are casuals, and the console players, whatever, they're pretty casual, most of them. Do you really think that that Billy that came home from his like 9 to 5 came home super fucking tired, he sits down to play 2 hours of Resident Evil 4, he wants to like beat around the bush and look for where he's supposed to go? No, he fucking doesn't, okay?
You playing, and that's why Capcom has plastered this game.
They
with
did.
Nothing but
This is completely true.
Just
Okay.
follow the line. How simple is that?
Thanks for the yellow paint. Never would have thought to walk up here.
I've seen some dumb sections where it's like, why is the yellow paint there? Like, is the player that stupid?
Yes, the answer is
Fight
yes.
them off. Okay.
We are aiming to create a Resident Evil 4 that everyone can enjoy, so please look forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Why didn't you show the laser, bro? Why didn't you show the laser?
What fucking laser?
Why didn't they show the laser?
How do you look at the original game and say, oh, let's change...
Guys, let's not go through this again. I talked about this. Like, there is no need for laser to exist in this game. It needed to exist in RE4 OG because it was the first game of that type. So they needed an aiming system. It's like, the original RE4 is a fucking arcade shooter, okay? It's an arcade fucking shooter. I will agree, the bloom in RE4 Remake is too much. They overdid it. But you cannot convince me that a fucking laser sight on a shotgun and a laser sight on a Red 9 would look better and make more sense than what we have. I'm sorry.
Change this to a generic crosshair.
I always felt a laser sight was a more immersive reticle than putting a white dot in the middle of the screen. You can unlock laser sights later, but you can only equip them to certain guns.
You only get it on 2 weapons, fellas. That's it?
And yeah, you get them on 2 modern guns. Like, what's the problem? And the Sentinel handgun DLC. Also, fuck DLCs. I love Capcom, okay? But like what they do in their DLCs is fucking criminal. Locking gameplay elements behind a paywall is just disgusting practice, okay? In my opinion, the only thing that should be like DLC that you pay for is cosmetics, because fine, okay? Like, I wouldn't even put that, but like, I prefer to have my guns and my gameplay elements either like straight into the game or unlockable in the game, right?
That's it?
Hey, this doesn't...
Yeah, of course, yeah, put a laser sight on a gun like this, yeah, that makes perfect sense, of course it does.
On the Red 9.
So, the guy that told me the lasers in the game lied to me.
It's all in there.
That won't cover it, I'm afraid.
You have to do side quests to unlock?
Yeah. Do side quests in a game. Like, I swear to God, nobody hates Resident Evil games more than the Resident Evil fans.
The fucking laser?
Unlockables are fucking cool, guys. Come on.
Hey, why not
Oh
go
my.
to that area again and kill 3 rats?
Killing 3 rats? Seriously,
Okay, so the quests in this game for Spinels are kind of mundane. I will agree with that. Most of them are, but like, it's, you know, it's just what you had in the OG as well.
Kill 3 rats, sell 3 vipers, kill another 3 rats, shoot some more blue medallions.
And of course, the way it works, like with all remakes, is that Capcom have taken the level design of Resident Evil 4 and stretched it out.
It's more open and explore.
Guys, a remake of one of my favorite game has more content. Guys, I hate it.
Horrible than before, but even if you mainline it, it doesn't feel as tight.
It feels like I'm just doing errands around the lake.
I feel like there needs to be a little more sense of...
You don't, again, like, you don't have to. You can skip this entire section and just move on with the game. Like...
urgency when it comes to that.
What's your sit rep?
President's daughter, Baby Eagle.
What is this now?
Like, why are they presenting it as something that you have to do? It's optional. If you want to experience more of the game, you know, it's there for you. You don't have to do it. Like, are we really complaining now about more content in the game?
Oh, dear lord.
Oh dear lord, a puzzle in my Resident Evil game. Oh.
Pacing in the original game is incredible. It's one of the highlights of that experience. You can't fuck with that.
Many of these areas seem to be gated off, but can be accessed by solving small puzzles.
That's just going to make the extension of this game, you know, padded garbage.
Shit, I took my gear.
Hey, am I tripping? Where's all my stuff?
Pull the first switch.
Guys, you get the similar section in the OG, right? When you get kidnapped by Mendes, whatever. Are you seriously going to tell me that they wouldn't just take away your stuff when you get kidnapped? Like, who are we kidding? Come on. Okay, fuck this section. I will agree with this. I hate this fucking part of the game in the remake. I fucking hate this part.
The second switch up top, drop down, go through the door, activate the next switch, go through the door, activate the next switch.
This part is just a slog to get through. It's I think easily the worst part of the remake. Worst part of the game, this section.
Go through the door, activate this switch.
Oh, like this puzzle was so fucking unnecessarily difficult. But, you know, puzzles in my RE game, no!
I'm not gonna lie, this game is dragging.
You have those forced in-game cutscenes and Leon starts moving really fucking slow, or you gotta squeeze through this thing, or you gotta like move that thing like an...
Yeah, like now games being slightly more cinematic is a problem as well, apparently.
RE4 Remake.
This is not a load screen. You think this is
It's a replacement for a load screen. Like, would you rather have a load screen? Like, oh my god. You know, you remember those parts where you go to the green door and you just have, like, everything disappear and appear again? I understand why some people prefer that, because you never know what you're gonna go through. And, you know, on subsequent playthroughs, that might be slightly better. But come on, like, we're playing modern games. We shouldn't even have, like, fucking load screens, right? But, you know, that might be a hot take, though.
You got it? Sorry.
Yeah, why don't you teleport to the other side, Ashley? Why don't you just phase through the bars and just unlock the doors for me?
I'm counting on you.
Can we just go?
It's open.
I owe you one.
I hate interactions in my games too. Interactions between characters.
Oh my god.
Oh no, is this like a fucking section?
Okay, yeah. On subsequent playthroughs, this section is a bit of a slog as well. They should have done something different, or maybe just let Leon walk slightly faster, because this part drags on a bit too long. I will agree with that.
It is forced walk in chat, load screen, I love you, Ashley section. Damn it. You can't skip it? You're gonna take out the...
I think visually that part was cool visually, but like it's holding W is not the most fun and interactive gameplay.
The container boss, and you're gonna...
No, I'm sorry. The U3 fight in the OG sucks, okay? The entire container fight section fucking sucks, okay? And there's a good reason it got removed. It sucks. I'm sorry. Like, even if you're a fan of the game, I don't believe you if you tell me you like this.
That's not our policy. You have to order something from the lunch menu.
Yeah, again, like, locking gameplay behind a paywall after already paying for the game is pretty scummy. Separate Ways should have been part of the core game. Like, even if it came out a bit later, like what it's been like what I want to say like 6 months between the game and the DLC. They should have been packed together. Like, if you bought the game, you just get Separate Ways when it comes out. But, you know, it is what it is.
I don't want lunch. I want breakfast.
No, fuck the laser section, fuck the quick time event sections, I'm sorry. Fuck them. Like, they were not fun. Like, do you think pressing one button to run away from a boulder is fucking fun for you? Or just pressing, like, quick time events of this type do not belong in RE games, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, hey. I'm really sorry.
It's one of my favorite parts of the entire game, having to rush through this small, cramped collection
No, I'm sorry, this part sucks. It just sucks.
of cages.
There's a reason it didn't make a comeback.
While the clock is ticking.
It was a fucking terrifying sequence, and that challenged your head a little bit because you had to figure out where to go within that maze. And in addition to that, he was attacking, and in addition to that, you were on a timer. So you had 3 things go on at once, and that's why they cut it. It was too difficult.
I'm not even gonna say anything to that.
I'm thinking to myself like, hey, did this part happen? And then it's like, it didn't happen. And I'm past it already. It seems like they've cut a lot out.
The stuff they've added doesn't begin to cover the worth of what we lost. You're creating a...
I want you to pay attention to the right corner here. And just look at the perfect gameplay in the right corner there.
Doesn't begin to cover the worth of...
Do you guys not like pressing one button over and over again and then pressing 2 buttons at the same time on a quick... Like, no.
What we
Fuck
lost.
off.
You're creating a remake and it has less content than the original version that was almost 20
Yeah, it's not allowing you to shoot Louise. Fuck that.
years old.
This is what I mean, dude. All they do is fucking remove shit. Why? It's a fucking remake, dude. Are you remaking the game? Or fucking what?
What? Come on, man. No rope?
There's a bunch of shit that is removed, and it's a continued.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about RE2 a bit. I'm pretty sure, like, this part, the zapping system is gone, which is quite a shame. It makes the game have more replay value. I think the OG RE2 has much more replay value than the remake. With that being said, why are we pretending that... So, okay, you can make that sort of argument for RE3 Remake, right? They removed stuff because they were lazy, but I don't think that's the case with RE2. I think part of it could have been a time crunch, right? And part of it could have been just like... So, to be honest with you, some of these parts do feel like filler sections, right? I think birds, like, don't really make a lot of... It's not that they don't make sense, it's just that they don't make for interactive gameplay. In almost every section in RE2, on your first playthrough, you're gonna interact with all of the enemies in one way or another. You're either gonna, like, run past them or kill them, right? RE2 OG is notoriously one of the easiest RE games to play through, even like if you don't like tank controls and stuff like that, it's pretty easy to get through. So, you know, it's... Yeah, it sucks that some content is removed, especially the zapping system from these examples here. But, like, not all of it needed to be in the game.
Tradition here with these RE Engine remakes.
For some reason, I do not see nobody talking about cut content in this game. To call out Resident Evil 3 Remake cut...
Novice to the Room in the OG fucking sucks. No, is it like Novice 2 or Novice 3 where you're like in that like a cave system and there's like a billion of them? Like, you can't tell me that's good game design. I'm sorry, it's fucking not.
Content and not call this game out for cut content. Can't help you. I can't help you.
You can't talk to him?
Right, let me just do something here. I think just let me check something. I don't thanks for the follow. Somebody followed. Oh, I can't see it. It's not going through. Oh well. Let's. Yeah, you can't really talk to them.
Like, if you want to talk about unrealistic, like the Salazar statue and how stupid
Yeah,
that
like
out in the original, that doesn't make sense, right? And then you have this massive roller coaster.
Okay, if you think for a second that the train cart section in the OG was better, where you just go from train to train and they drop enemies on you was better than just having it be like a 2-minute section. I don't know what to tell you.
Underground.
You're smoking
It is
some good
so
crack, bro.
unrealistic, it's not even fun. Like, it actually just takes
Yeah,
you
it
out of
is
the
unrealistic,
like,
but like if you're playing Resident Evil game for realism, then you're in the wrong franchise.
to try this grounded approach.
Which feels like an anticlimax. Increasingly a scripted, Uncharted-style Sony set piece rather than an engaging death trap.
Yeah, this was like super engaging, guys. I love being dropped enemies on me until I fucking die of depression.
Off with a horde of chainsaws and ganados dropping directly into your cart.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't agree with this.
When they approached
I don't
Capcom
agree
to
with
release
this.
the original trilogy on PC, Capcom literally met them with, "Why would you want the old games when we have the superior remakes?" And I'm just like, huh?
Okay, if that was Capcom's reaction, then I don't know what to tell you. But
the Resident Evil.
yeah, I do miss that.
Can we please stop hiding the classic Resident Evil title call behind the OG soundtrack?
Yes, please include the OG soundtrack in the game. Why? Like, it's $3 fucking dollars.
Swap.
So that's DLC though?
Pay extra.
It's all in there.
It's all in there, by the way.
New DLC was added into the game in the form of purchase.
And fuck exclusive. Yeah, exclusive upgrade tickets can also go fuck themselves.
All the decent attaché cases that are actually worth jack shit are locked behind the deluxe edition DLC
Yeah,
that I didn't buy.
again, gameplay elements should not be locked behind a paywall.
Unlocks additional treasures that cannot be found with the various treasure maps obtainable in the game. Yo, it seems a little
OP.
Yeah.
Pay to win.
It does point them out to you, but it also just creates new ones that didn't exist before that. That's the pay to win treasure. This one right here. Sapphire, boom, that's an extra 4K that I wouldn't normally have. Like, that's so lame.
The Mercenaries mode, a staple of the Resident Evil franchise, was also not included in the game at launch. We had to wait later for an update. When it finally did come out, it was unfinished, as Ada and Wesker were nowhere to be found, and there was one less stage.
Waterworld was a huge and elaborate stage, but the docks is just a small square. And this stage is also ripped from the story, where Leon has his final battle with Sadler.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna go into Mercenaries as much, but yeah, like, can we start getting complete games from now on, Capcom, please? Thank you.
So much for no cut content.
I think my favorite thing in this whole fucking game is those bald dudes in the castle that like kidnap Ashley and go like they took those guys out, dude.
That's a part of the mood, the vibe, the atmosphere. You never not hear
Oh my god,
fucking
shut
voices.
like. Yes, it feels like Ganados did talk a lot more in the OG, but you know, I don't mind them. Like, looking back at it now, yes, it was more charming and endearing, but they did sound a bit cartoony at times. And I kind of got sick and tired of hearing the same voice line over and over again for 50 million times. In different pitches and everything, right? So, you know, it's kind of a toss-up between the two. I don't mind either one, right? I'm fine with both.
Notice that there's no interaction or any talk between the villagers.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, but this is so nitpicky, right?
There's no vibe here. There's no atmosphere. You're getting nothing except gibberish now.
A big part of that game's charm is what the enemies say. The voice lines.
Yeah, like, prepare to hear these voice lines for 50 more million times until you finish this game.
Why are these people? What are they planning?
Bloquea el paso!
Chainsaw.
I will say this, RE6 caught me off guard because the Javos speak in a language I can understand. In case you didn't know, Java means like devil in my language, and so that part was really interesting to me. Like, and it caught me off guard the first time they said "Jubredno pokvareno," which means like you're a scumbag or something like that, something along those lines. I found that to be extremely charming the first time around. Yeah. Eris is the goat.
Leon?
Just stay close.
I mean, like, you know, this is it just comes to personal preferences. I don't mind either. I think the context in which it happens is more important.
Is there a single go hello in this entire section?
It's still there. They still have the same quotes, but it seemed less energetic.
Yeah, because like they sound like actual people now.
Where's the energy in the performances? I mean, they're shouting in the original.
Yeah, but like, whoa, that one makes me laugh every time.
You're not getting the delivery on these performances anymore.
Welcome, stranger. Obey the voice of our Lord.
Yeah, they really downgraded Sadler though.
Has accepted the gift.
These characters sound like a parody of their former selves.
The graveliness of it.
They sound more natural to me, at least. It takes away from the charm of the game, but they do sound more natural, like actual people, right? I will say that. So most people didn't like Krauser's performance, the new voice actor. For me, it was kind of the opposite. At first, I liked it a lot. I really liked it, but when I was replaying RE4 OG after that, I kind of prefer the OG even now, the OG voice actor. It's not that the remake one does a bad job. It's just that like he feels like he belongs in the OG more, because it's less grounded. It's more like goofy and cheesy and cartoony and campy. You know, which is a shame, right? But like they ruined a lot of the characters. I think the only two characters that got like substantial improvements in the remake are probably Luis and Ashley, and there could be a case made for Ramon. But you know, it's just personal preferences. I think the characters in the OG were slightly more, how should I say, iconic. Yeah.
Sounds like a put on, like someone doing an impression.
Long time no see, rookie. The game. It is me, Triple H. I'm here to fuck you up. Oh, rookie. Rookie.
I don't think she does that bad of a job. I mean, she doesn't do that bad of a job.
Okay, so the entire controversy about Ada's voice actor, yeah, she wasn't the best, right? But I think people harassing the voice actress was pretty over the top. Although I will say she does a better performance in the base game in separate ways. She's a little bit unbearable to listen to.
She's cool.
Don't worry, Leon. First time is
She sounds awful, dude.
Don't keep me waiting.
I think what they wanted Ada to have this like low, sultry voice, but I just don't think the voice actress's voice fits Ada very much.
Wow.
Pull yourself together, Luis.
Her voice?
Make more. You know how, just do it.
I don't know what they were thinking.
Sometimes some actors totally like fuck up their auditions, but if I feel the vibe is right and I can work with them, I'll go for that one rather than someone who did a perfect read.
He's the cinematic director. Okay, so I will say Jill's voice lines in the final Nemesis fight in the RE3 remake were unbearable. I know a lot of people hated Heisenberg's voice acting, but come on, it's Neil Newbon. Come on, his performance in Village was incredible, in my opinion. I really liked him as Heisenberg. I think in RE4 Remake the voice performances are fine for the most part, but I don't know. Like what he is saying here, I understand what he's saying, that he prefers to see passion for something, right? I think at least that's what I'm getting from this. But like you need precision as well. Passion is not enough. I would be passionate enough to be a voice actor. Would I be good at it? Most likely not, right? So yeah.
But I can feel like he's an asshole or she's an asshole.
Capcom keeps going the cheapest route possible for the English voiceover. And you might be wondering, well, how do you know this? It's because the old voice actress of Claire Redfield, Allison Court, she actually did an interview with a YouTube channel called Residents of Evil, where she talked about this whole
Okay, so the entire union thing, I don't want to get into that entire mess. But if it's probably easier to work non-union, but what can you do?
Were you already in the union back there? And when did the union come about?
I was union. I've always been union.
You always, since the very beginning.
So all of these fans who are like, well, it was your fault for joining a union and demanding more money. It's like, guys, get a grip.
Mr.
Yeah, how do you dare to get paid for the work you've done?
Kennedy, Mr. Kennedy. This George Washington looking fuck is not cool. He doesn't give me.
Yeah, but like, when was Ramon cool? That was the point. He's so fucking uncool. That's the point of him.
This fucking awesome vibe, like in the original, where he was like, he has that little laugh before you meet him, and it marinates.
Leon doesn't even meet.
Yeah, like, okay, fair enough, but the characters are a bit more grounded, minus Krauser, are a bit more grounded in the remake. I don't really see how that's a problem.
Sadler until near the end of the game, and he only meets with Salazar 3 times before
the
boss fight with him. This causes Leon, Salazar, and Sadler all to suffer as characters because Leon isn't in communications with them throughout the game.
When he's beaten, I almost thought that something was missing.
And that's the entire game, like these villains don't feel like villains and shit.
You'll face severe consequences.
I have absolute control.
Yeah, but like, does it have to be here? I mean,
the original, whenever he had a monologue.
Yeah. So, whatever the fuck just happened. Okay, but like, can we just take a second to talk about how these characters, yeah, they are better in their game, but like, if you put the OG characters right in the remake, there would be too much of how should I say, too much of a dissonance between what the characters are supposed to be, right? In the OG, they're supposed to be campy, they're supposed to be a little bit cheesy, they're and it fits there, right? But then if you put these same characters in the RE4 remake, they wouldn't fit nearly as well, in my opinion. It would look a little bit weird. But that's just my personal perspective, right? So there needs to be like how should I say it? There needs to be like it needs to be like a cohesive type of thing, right? I think it's kind of like San Andreas, right? So San Andreas is not, oh my god, I just please, okay. So San Andreas is, even for that time when it came out, it was not a very pretty looking game, right? With that being said, because it was ugly all over the place, it felt cohesive, right? You can't have 4K textures in a game and like make it look all polished and nice, and then have characters look like they're made from like what, like the same amount of polygons like RE2 Leon and Claire. So there needs to be like this cohesiveness in the game.
When he's beaten, I almost thought that
I do wish we had more interactions, especially with Sadler, throughout the game.
something was missing.
And that's the entire game, like these villains don't feel like villains and shit.
You'll face severe consequences.
absolute control.
Yeah, see what I mean? They don't sound like people in the OG.
Whenever he had a
They sound like
monologue, I
characters.
was like, dude, I love this guy so much, but I can't wait to kill him type of thing.
The Los Illuminados jack Leon's comms, and throughout the game, taunt him, make life generally difficult for him, and inject much-needed character moments into the game that expand on all three of these characters further.
Oh, Roops, you're breaking up. Is Salazar about to hijack it? Damn it. So much for that.
Maybe just jamming it. Okay, no hijack yet.
All you get is 50 seconds of Salazar talking through the castle's intercom, and that's it.
Also, this boss fight in the OG is just horrible. It's much better here.
All of it just reminds me of RE8 again. I'm sure you're getting tired of RE8, but it's true.
Okay, so RE8 borrowed from RE4, which in turn then again borrowed from RE8. So the problem exactly is where. RE8 is Resident Evil 4 Lite version, right? So it is what it is. Of course they're gonna be similar.
One common issue throughout the remake with bosses was the lack of seeing the boss transformations. Something that add to that shit just got real factor gets stripped away.
It just cuts into a cutscene and then you just see the reveal. Even though in the original you can see the transformation.
Again, I think this part of this is probably the censorship, right? I think these types of transformations wouldn't fly nearly as well in today's landscape of censorship. Unfortunate, but you know that could be a part of it. I don't think it's the laziness on the developers' part because you know they already made such a huge game, so you know missing these parts it's unfortunate. But I think it has to do with censorship because even here you can see how darkened this part is, so they probably don't want that showing, right?
The problem is in a remake is that every transformation is hidden from the player or shown way too close or cut up in the screen so you can't see it. In the original, you absolutely will see the transformations and it has a horror feeling into it.
Sadler getting the bullets out of him in Resident Evil 4 OG actually presented with a bit more intimidation, as there was a sense of dread instilled by not knowing what he was doing. There is nothing like that here.
The cinematography alone in the original game is just like light years ahead of this game, but no one cares. No one cares about where the camera's placed. No one cares about the performances. No one cares about anything.
I highly disagree with that.
We spent a lot of time and effort in making the total finished product, especially the cutscenes where new enemies are introduced.
Yeah, I really missed the Ganados pulling out El Gigante.
Comes out in the camera.
That was I don't know why they skipped on that though.
No. He just comes out of the door? Where's the build-up?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this is literal shit, but it's certainly, in my opinion, is not a fucking 10 out of 10.
That night came the honeymoon.
I'm sorry, I agree with Metacritic. I agree with this score. Resident Evil 4 Remake is an amazing game. It's a masterpiece. It's probably the best remake after the RE1 remake.
Resident Evil 4 Remake is one of the best games I've played in my life.
Capcom has made essentially a perfect video game. I think it's one of the best games ever.
Resident Evil 4 Remake might be the best video game remake ever made.
No, it's not, but it's up there.
Perfect a remake. This is how you remake a game.
This may very well be one of the best games Capcom has ever made.
It might very well be the most perfect horror action game I ever played.
Resident Evil 4 Remake
And it's up there,
delivering not
definitely.
only a fantastic remake, but one of the best survival horror games ever, one of the best third-person action
Oh, come on now.
games ever, and one of the best video games ever, full stop.
This is the third highest Resident Evil score of all time. This right now is a 93 based off 90 critic reviews.
Capcom gets a lot of praise for their remakes, but still not enough.
This remake, I think, is
Okay, let's not give them too much praise. You know, they still have a lot of room to fuck up if they continue with the remakes. We might get another RE3 remake situation.
20 times better than the original. It's 100 times better. I'll never touch the original again.
This game is dang near perfect.
Rebuilt,
Near
refined,
perfect.
and realized
Oh my god, IGN, shut the fuck up.
full limits of its enormous potential.
Final score 10.
Okay, I can't give it a 10 because for me, a 10 is RE1 Remake. And Requiem is pretty close there. I wouldn't give Requiem a 10 out of 10 either, but it's up there. I think the only Resident Evil game that I think is absolute perfection down to a fucking T is RE1 Remake. I think that game, like, even now, it still looks amazing considering how old it fucking is. It's like, what, 20-something years old? It still looks amazing, and it still plays well, and, you know, if you haven't played RE1 Remake, you definitely should.
10.
They remade a game, and they fucking honored it.
They did.
Took RE4, they respected everything about it, and it's just as good or better, in my opinion. And
It's just as good or better is a good way to put it. I can understand why somebody would prefer the OG, but I cannot, with good conscience, pretend that RE4 Remake is significantly worse than the OG, because, like, most of the stuff I've seen here, most of it is just nitpicks or something that's a personal preference with no substantial argument as to why. Of course, there are things like certain aesthetics, you know, when you're reading the files in the game, you know, you have the missing background artwork, the typewriter saves, and so on and so forth, right? But there are so many things that are better. Like, it's a short section, but I'm going to use it as an example. You cannot convince me in 10 billion years that you prefer the Ashley section in the OG compared to Ashley section in the remake. Just as an example. And also, like, the entire elevator maze, whatever, with the U3, like, I'm glad they gave U3 to Ada, to be honest with you.
yeah, the soul versus soulless can eat my ass out with a spoon.
I knew something was off when I watched this video.
And he did turn down the ambient sound. He did factually do that.
Turn the volume up, pendejo. Should I do that in-game? Audio. Oh, it's already maximum. All right, I agree with you. So I'm going to turn it up. I mean, it's already... I'll just put it on 100.
How far could he have gone?
Give me also 1 second. I'm going to pause. I want to turn up the audio slightly. It feels... Oh, I can't. You should just boost, just put the master volume at the highest right now, because people are still saying it's a little quiet, but it got better.
It is.
When we increased
It's all the way.
Oh, it's already. Oh, okay, great.
There's sound effects.
So, okay.
Yeah,
you could put everything up, I guess.
If game volume needs to be turned up, let me know. It might be a little low compared to Fatal Frame. Look in the game.
I don't know why. Are people deaf or something?
Actually, that may be better. Is everything jacked?
I'm not gonna go into the entire we're already like almost 2 hours into my stream and I still haven't started Pragmata yet, so I don't wanna hold on to this so much. But like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it is.
Is the game audio low? Game audio's low? Is it? I saw one person write it, so I want to see if the rest of the chat.
We've been adjusting it.
What about the audio? Some people are saying it sounds good. Some people are saying it's low. Slightly low.
Volume's a little low. Well, it's all the way up.
How's the volume? I feel like the game's a little quiet.
Audio's kind of quiet.
Okay, can we just get through this part?
A little louder.
If I need to do more.
The game audio is as it can be.
And it's still fucking quiet.
Audio's too quiet.
This game is actually quite quiet.
So the wind is down here, but then when there's the gunshot, that's right up at the top.
All over
I mean, yeah, obviously, if you have wind, then there's a gunshot. Of course, there's going to be like a larger difference between the two. Whatever.
With social media, I just saw post after post after post.
The comment section under this video is pretty ugly, to put it lightly.
RE4 Remake is a masterpiece. You are worsening the gaming culture. He changed the title of the video. He has no integrity.
I'm disappointed in crowbcat. He could have gone after the other shitty buggy games everyone else already covered, but he instead dared to cover the peakiest peak.
Oh my fucking god. Okay, like
Resident Evil 4 Remake?
Are
I'm not getting into all of that.
most unlikable, angry old man I've ever seen.
You're sitting here daydreaming about your old-ass PS2 game while being angry about something that's almost universally loved.
A lot of people really like remakes, not because they're that interested in the artistic discussion of it all, but because it becomes a social event.
Okay, crowbcat, if you for some reason ever see this video, when was a large release not a social event, like a social thingy, right? Even back then, when you had to wait in a fucking row, in a queue to buy a game, you would talk about people that like the same game, right? That's not a social event or something. Like, hello?
A social experience.
It really does feel like people really are putting Capcom specifically on a pedestal, right? They really are pretending these Resident Evil remakes are some of
I will say, I said it before like a billion times, and I'm gonna say it again, and it's probably been said to death at this point, but like nobody hates Resident Evil games more than Resident Evil fans.
the best games ever made.
And you know, the truth of the matter is that a lot of people haven't played the original. A lot of, I mean, unless you're a boomer. That's just the reality of the situation. Most people haven't.
Yeah, most people that are new Resident Evil fans were not born in the time period when the original released. Like, and the Resident Evil 4 had so many releases on different consoles from different generations. That just like makes sense. Like, why would I, if I have a working PS2 or a fucking GameCube or whatever the fuck it was, or I had the game on a fucking CD from like before Christ, why would I buy the game again to have it on Steam?
Played the original, and they're not going to go back to it.
I haven't played the original.
I mean, I have it because I like collecting this stuff, even if it's a digital library, but still, like...
I never played the original. I never played the original.
Didn't play the original.
I didn't play the original.
It's that time. It's time to lower this one 6 feet under and say, well...
Yeah, like, guys, like, 97% of 150,000 of you are fucking wrong, guys.
It is what it is.
From now on, when I say Resident Evil 4, now I have to say Resident Evil 4, the original, released on the GameCube.
It was cool, but forgettable.
Game of the year. And the winner is Resident Evil 4.
Accepting on behalf of Resident Evil 4 is producer Hiroyuki Kobayashi.
Oh. Okay, that was pretty funny.
That's what we live for. We have to act now, and one of the things we're doing is making original games.
Shinji Mikami the GOAT. Is this the end of the video? No, we still have a bit more to go. Oh, we don't, okay. Okay, so those were my thoughts on this. We spent like nearly 2 hours talking about this. So again, I will say this. I think if you put elements of the remake into the OG and vice versa, neither of the game would be good. They're good for what they are, and we should appreciate them for what they are. Okay? I don't think one is explicitly worse than the other, but if I had to choose which one to play, I would probably choose the remake. I've been playing games for as long as I can remember, okay? My first game ever was Super Mario Bros. On like a fucking Famicom or something like that. And ever since then, I've been playing games. Like, I've been playing, like, from the most popular games at the time to the most garbage games. I've played it all, and I've experienced it all, and I experienced, like, how many generations is that? Like fucking 7? No, wait, I'm not 7 generations, but like at least 4 or 5 generations of gaming I've experienced, okay? I've been to arcades, I've played PS1, I've played PS2, I had a fucking Pentium 3 PC, I had a Pentium 4 PC, so I am a fan of games, okay? But I'm telling you, it's come to that point where I'm not gonna say a game is specifically worse because it's made for modern audiences. As dumb as certain players are, it doesn't make the game any lesser or the effort that went to it any lesser, okay? There are always things... No game is perfect, right? Not a single one of them except Silent Hill 2. Jokes aside, of course, no game is perfect. You can find and criticize anything in any game and criticize it for it. That's perfectly normal, right? But the way we are talking about Resident Evil 4 here is like no work has been put into this game. It's just a slop, complete slop fest. You know, like a 5-year-old could have made this game. Even though it's very obvious to me and to anyone who has played through this game that a lot of effort went into it. And if you said that you prefer the OG and you think it's a better game, I wouldn't tell you like, no, you're wrong, because I don't think you are. It's perfectly fine for me to hear someone say that the OG game is better for them. No problem with that whatsoever, okay? But I do have a problem with people saying, oh, Resident Evil 4 Remake is bad because modern audiences, I don't have laser on my gun, and so on and so forth. Those are nitpicks, okay? If you hate those aspects of the game, if you hate RE4 Remake, simply do not play it, okay? Simply do not play it. There is valid criticism to be had here. They did cut a little bit of content. The characters are not as good. Like, these types of things are good criticisms. And, you know, we're lacking the art when we're reading the files. We're lacking the typewriter type thing. It's like ruining the aesthetic, yada, yada, yada. But you cannot tell me that the game looks like shit, or sounds like shit, or plays like shit when it fucking doesn't, okay? It's like objectively not true. You're just objectively lying at that point, okay? There are AAA games, Sony fucking exclusives, that come out on PC like 2 fucking years later that play infinitely worse, or have infinitely worse stories, or infinitely worse execution than RE4 Remake. So let's please, like, be fucking for real here, okay? Capcom has been on a pretty much a historical run for nearly 10 years. Smash hit after smash hit. You know, RE3 Remake kind of ruins their track record. So, as long as we get at least the quality of RE4 Remake, I think we should all be happy. Because it means that Capcom knows what the fans want. They care about their IP. I don't agree with the fact that I said, oh, why would you play the older titles when the new ones are superior? I don't agree with that take. I think that's one of the most valid criticisms this video had here. But, you know, let's not pretend that this is just some, like, stupid cash grab, because it isn't. Also, Capcom, for the love of fucking God, stop locking gameplay elements behind a paywall. Like, please stop doing that. Okay, like, you have good standing in my eyes. Just stop fucking doing that and everything's gonna be perfect. Like, stop with the DLC. Also, I didn't forget that you made Street Fighter tourneys pay to watch. Like, also, fuck you, Capcom, for that as well. But if you keep releasing like this quality of games, then I have no problem with it. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this topic. This should be up on YouTube eventually. If I ever get to it, I will probably get to it in the next few days. And on that note, I'm done with this video. So now we can finally move on to